Ooh, that's not right. Welcome back to Living Local. Low-carb diets have become very popular, and as a result, carbohydrates are often seen as the enemy, but they aren't as scary as you may think. And here to separate myth from facts, we are joined by registered dietitian Nina Struess in this segment, sponsored by Hy-Vee. Thanks for being here, Nina.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's start off with carbohydrates. What exactly are they?
Yeah, so carbohydrates are one of our main macronutrients, and they're incredibly essential for our body. They're our body's preferred source of energy. And so they come in different forms. We have starch, which is going to be more of some of our starchier vegetables.
Yeah.
Our whole grains, beans and legumes that are going to provide complex carbohydrates, which are good for our blood sugar. We have simple carbohydrates also, our sugars, which is what most people know. Those are typically found in things like dairy, our fruits as well, and then of course our sweets and desserts and such like that. And then we also do have fiber as our third type of carbohydrate, which you'll find in both simple and complex carbs, and including fiber is incredibly important for good blood sugar control.
Okay, so some of these that you just spoke about, some of the starches like the breads and the potatoes, can they make you fat? Because a lot of people think that that's the case.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And that myth is out there because so many diets typically tend to attack one or multiple types of macronutrients, because if we get rid of something, we're going to lose weight. Yeah. Right? And really all it is just a calorie deficit. Any kind of calorie deficit will make us lose weight. Now, of course, if all we're eating are things that are high in carbohydrate sugars like cake and cookies and all of those, of course there might be weight gain that happens. But, you know, if you're including things like bread and potatoes and beans and dairy in your diet, pasta also, no, that's not necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, as much as we would like to have pasta every day,
yeah.
You know. So what should we be looking for on nutrition labels then?
Yeah, so when it comes to carbohydrates, we want to make sure, as I mentioned, you want to have a good amount of fiber if you can. Okay. So going for things like whole grains, your fruits and vegetables, beans and legumes, even pastas now, a lot of them are higher in fiber, higher in protein. So typically recommend 3 to 5 grams if possible or more.
Okay.
Typically that's going to help with the carbohydrates. Okay. And then of course, you know, just looking at the carbohydrate total, most people who are having to watch their carbs know kind of where to stay within. Yeah. And if not, we have some great resources for education on that too.
Okay, so many people think that, you know, fruits should be off limits as well if you're trying to lose weight, because they just contain too much sugar. Yeah. So should we be watching our fruit intake?
Yeah, that's a good question. So fruit does contain sugar. It is naturally occurring sugar. I always tell people fruit comes in a good package, that sugar is naturally occurring. It has other vitamins and minerals, usually has fiber. The biggest thing is you don't want to eat them naked, right? No naked carbs. We always want to dress them up. So we want to add things like protein or a little bit of fiber. So instead of just that apple, we want to add a hard-boiled egg or a cheese stick or something that's going to have a little bit of protein with it. So it's better for our blood sugar control.
Okay, and it just seems people are so protein obsessed, right, anymore, and seem to be focusing on replacing carbs with protein. Is that a good idea?
Sure, that's a good question. We definitely don't get enough protein at some of our meals occasionally, and we don't want to replace protein with carbs. One of the best things that we can do is make sure that we're including protein with our carbohydrates. So carbohydrates give us energy. Protein helps with that satiety, that feeling of fullness. Both of them together really help make sure our blood sugar goes up more steady and comes down more steady.
Okay, so what would be a good dose then of, you know, proteins and carbs then?
Yeah, so good pairings and things like that to kind of look for is to make sure that you have a protein that has, you know, between maybe more than, I tell people, depending on the meal, you want at least, you know, 12 to 15 grams of protein or more, especially if it's going to be a good meal. Carbohydrates, it really just depends on the person and their specific needs.
Okay, all right. All right, so to help people at home, you know, kind of navigate the grocery aisles and meet their dietary needs, you have an upcoming virtual nutrition tour focusing on diabetes. Give us the details on this tour.
Yeah, we have several different options actually available, and they are recorded. So we have an on-demand diabetes nutrition tour that talks about carbohydrates. One of the best things is it takes, products that we have in the aisle and shows you how to make meals or snacks out of them here. Talking about protein and carbohydrates, let me show you a great breakfast here. Let me show you another great, snack, or another great snack or breakfast too.
Yeah.
Talk about food labels, how much you should have. That's available on our website at Hy-Vee.com, and it's free. You can access it at any time.
Yeah, I love that. The examples of meals, because I think a lot of folks need that. They kind of get stuck in a little rut. Okay, you guys are also offering a program to better balance your blood sugar. So what's included in this program?
Yeah, so that's a new program that we would be launching. And so you get pre and post metrics done, an A1C and biometric screening. And then you get access to 4 group sessions where you get to learn about all of the latest research on terms of how to manage your blood sugar better. And we are still offering free A1C screenings this month. And if you sign up and get a free A1C screening, you get $100 off our balancing blood sugar control program. So it's a pretty great option.
Definitely. You can't beat that for sure. All right. Well, Nina, thank you so much for coming in today. And again, this segment was sponsored by Hy-Vee. For more information, you can visit Hy-Vee.com. And we'll also have all those details posted on our QuadCities.com. More Living Local continues after the break.